directly into the rest of the futures.
Before you get into the rest of the NFL futures, which is great, and it's going to be a great conversation. My only thing, my gripe, and maybe this is the older gentleman that I am, right? The only thing I have a problem with this Kevin Durant thing is that he co-signed this announcement from Sean Marks, meaning his fucking production company had its stamp and label on it, like he had anything to do with the fact that he's staying with the Brooklyn Nets. First of all, they were shopping him. Then they were not shopping him. Then they were shopping him again. And then they were getting offers that they just couldn't. They're like, no, that's not enough, right? That's fine. That's totally fine. But if you're shopping a guy, that means you're trying to get rid of him because of the fact that he's disgruntled. He wants Steve Nash, who, by the way, if there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Brotherhood between a player and a former player. You're being a piece of shit to a guy that's won so many awards and done so many accolades like Steve Nash. To say that you want him to get fired is just asinine, first of all.
Get him out.
Well, whatever the case may be, how are you going to go to practice now? How are you going to go to practice? And they're not firing Steve Nash. So how are you going to go to practice?
We're talking about practice.
Hey. No, all right, AI. But I'm saying, how do you do that?
It's very easy.
Hey, let's run this drill.
It's a business. I get into arguments with people all the time.
The fact that you had to go out of your way to announce that you're returning to the Nets with four years left on your contract is comical. It is a joke. KD is a joke. The Brooklyn Nets are a joke. The fact that they had to announce this because why? We're in a dead time in the NBA, so there's no news. Here's a good chance for make a fucking 3-point splash from the arc. Got it. And it's like, what are we doing here? Why did we need to know this? Why do we need to? How about, you know what? We rejected everything. That's it. So guess what? By default, because of the contract, KD is a Net. Not he's decided to shut it down.
Maybe they didn't need to do the whole KD's production team involved. But look, this is what you do when you have a star player. And Sean Redden pointed out that he didn't really get any of his wishes. So the least they could do is throw his fucking logo up there.
Oh,
when he tucks tail on his way back to the
we've come to an agreement.
A game and 8 rebounds a game.
The Nets have come to an agreement with a guy that already came to an agreement with them for a long-term contract. Stop this nonsense. Stop letting the players dictate all this shit. You have to put your foot down. I'm sorry. Put your foot down. You are a contracted player. I feel like they have to play.
I feel like they did put their foot down. He ain't going nowhere. They win.
But they didn't have to do it the way they just spun it. We've collectively said that we've agreed that he's going to stay. All you have to say is, you know what? We felt offers. The offers weren't good enough. KD's good enough to stay here.
And I'll tell you what, though, they're pandering to their fan base, and all the Nets fans were amped about it. So
of course they are. They got their boy back.
That's why they're doing it. It's like, oh, we're going to piss off people. That's good.
They could have said nothing, zero.
Yeah,
do nothing. But then we already found out that all these offers were rejected.
If they say nothing, then they have the media that gets to speculate. And when the media speculates, they report things as facts that aren't facts. I don't necessarily agree with the way they went about it, but they have to say something. That's the nature of it.
I'm going to ask you a question, okay? You're a Packers guy.
Yeah.
I'm a reporter. Aaron Rodgers last year was rumored to be dealt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Cowboys offered X amount of picks. The Bears offered X amount of picks. The Chiefs offered X amount of picks. And shit, the Philadelphia Eagles were also looking at Rodgers, X amount of picks. You rejected them all. As the Packers GM, do you have to go out there and say, Aaron Rodgers will be returning to the Packers? Or can we just take the fact that they said no to all the trade offers that he's returning to the Packers?
Well,
why do you have to make a spectacle of it?
They did make a spectacle of it. It wasn't the Packers that made a spectacle of it, but the media is what makes a spectacle of it.
All I'm saying is you're saying that they had to say something, right? They didn't. They just didn't. They want the headlines. The Nets were the divas of the league right now. You have a bunch of
that they're in, though.
You
need to make headlines, and look, we're sitting here talking about it. So the marketing department did the right thing.
Yeah, congratulations. You got me all fired up here, and I was tired right before the show. I was yawning. I was like, I got no energy today, and then here we are talking about this NFL clown show.